Greetings all, and I'm going to discuss today a little bit about auto exposure bracketing, or AEB, which you're going to find on majority of your cameras. Okay, so first off, what is auto exposure bracketing? Well, basically what this is going to do is take three, or in some cameras cases they can take more different exposures of the same shot, and it will do this automatically for you. So if you remember from last week, I'll leave a link in the description for that one in case you haven't seen it. I was taking a specific shot, but when I look at the shot on the back of the camera, my foreground was too dark. So if I increased the exposure, the background, which was actually the sunrise, would have been overexposed. Now, in these situations, this is where auto exposure bracketing plays a massive role in getting the perfect exposure for the shot you are going to take. So your camera will take three shots: the correct exposure that you set, an overexposed and an underexposed shot. But the thing is, once you've got these images, what do you do with them? And that is the point of today, is just to quickly go over, and it is really quick and simple, of how to merge these three images together using Lightroom. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom, and I've got the three images at the bottom. Now this is the first image. Now this is the actual correct exposure that said on the back of the camera this is correct. But you're going to notice that on the rocks at the front, they're pretty dark, so you've lost a lot of colour, a lot of detail. It's just not there. So when you're doing auto exposure bracketing, what's going to happen is your camera will take the three shots, the correct exposure, under and over. So that's the correct one. The underexposed shot here, as you can see, the rocks are even darker. But if you look into the sky, you will see that there is a lot more detail and a lot more colour, and it looks quite nice. And then you're going to get the overexposed shot. Now this is all in reverse now. The sky is all washed out, you lost so much detail, so much colour, it's not good. But you've gained on the rocks at the bottom, you've now got the colour, the detail, it's all there. So the whole point of exposure bracketing is to use those three images to create one. And Lightroom is so easy to do it, it's unbelievable. So at the bottom here, you've got the three images that we're going to use: the correct exposure, underexposed, and the overexposed. And then it's just literally as simple as merging the photos, photo merge, HDR, and it does its bit. Now the settings on the side here, all I'm going to say is play around with them and see which ones you're going to find the better ones. I always just tend to leave it on medium, and it tends to look a little bit better in my eyes than anything else. All I will say is leave auto align on, because it will align the photo a lot better than if you try to do it yourself. So just leave it on auto, and it also keeps it a little bit sharper. And then just hit merge, and it will merge them all together. Now I've already done this, and then you'll end up with your image. Now as you can see there, we've got plenty of colour detail in the sky and in the rocks, and that was just so simple. And that is literally how easy it is to do. And one of the things that you can do as well is, once you've combined your 3 or 4 or 5 images together to create the one, you can now edit this to however you want it. So you just use your normal way that you just treat that as one image now, and you just do editing on that as you see fit. That was just, it's so simple to do that if you're ever in a position where you can't get the correct exposure because one part of it is over, and then if you change it, one part's like really under, that's literally when you're going to need to use exposure compensation. And the auto exposure bracketing is the best way to do it, because you haven't got to worry too much about this. You tell the camera how much you want to under and overexpose, and it does the rest for you. So have a bash and play. Go and find a situation where you've got a dark area that you can't increase your exposure to get the detail from the dark area. You're going to find this like in shadows, especially in shadows, and just go and have a try. And I use, obviously everyone knows, I use Lightroom for a lot of my editing. You can do this in Photoshop as well. I'm going to leave that for another day, so don't forget, keep an eye out for that one. It's going to be a few months away, but I will get around to doing that one. Thanks for joining me on this one, guys, and I hope you're going to find it useful. And until the next time, thanks for joining. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.